An under-8 team from Beijing, run by Drogheda native Aaron Reynolds, visited United Park and played a game at the break. As for the game itself, Drogheda started brightly with Robert Bailey carving out space for this shot. Unfortunately for him and Drogheda, it was straight at goalkeeper Richard Brush. Later, Drogheda's Lee Duffy received the ball on the edge of the penalty area and he found the opening for an attempt on goal. But like Bailey's, his effort was of little trouble to Brush. Drogheda's chances of getting anything from the game were dented when they were reduced to 10 men after 26 minutes. Referee Ray Matthews took a dim view of Bailey's challenge on John Russell in the centre circle. Bailey probably expected to receive a yellow card, but instead he got a red one. It brought an abrupt end to Bailey's full league debut for the County Louth side. Sligo started to come more into the game with Alan Keane crossing from their right. Morten Nielsen rose to flick on, but Michael Schlingermann sprang to his right to push the ball away. However, Schlingermann was powerless to deny Nielsen following the resulting corner kick. The Danish striker pipped Robert O'Reilly to head home. Drogheda won't want to see this passage of play again as they fell further behind. Alan Byrne and Sean Thornton got in a right muddle, allowing Jason Hughes to nip in and calmly slip the ball past Schlingermann. That left Drogheda 2-0 down, and manager John McDonald none too pleased. Sligo went 3 up after the break, Nielsen netting with the second bite at this one. At the other end, Drogheda had a chance to pull a goal back. Stephen Maher with the header that Brush was able to gather. With Drogheda pushing to get a goal back, they were caught by a Sligo break. Keith Ward helped the ball on to Sander Puri, and Ward ran on to get the ball back before being felled by Daly's clumsy challenge at the expense of a penalty. On his return to action with Sligo, Anthony Elding stepped up to send Schlingermann the wrong way. MacDonald was quite unhappy at full time as it ended Drogheda United 0, Sligo Rovers 4.
And I don't know, he said it was reckless and dangerous for the player. Probably a yellow card, but it looked really harsh. We're in the game, but you know, we obviously conceded the second goal. Definitely killed us off. You know, the game was over at that stage.
A big win, you know, in terms of the 3 points. I think if Drogheda had beaten us, you know, they'd have been 9 points ahead of us. Now they're only 3. So in terms of the league table, that's a massive win for us.
And speaking of the league table, this is how it stood after Friday's fixtures. Dundalk's advantage increasing to 7 points over Cork City. St Pat's kept their winning sequence going and remained third, 3 points ahead of Shamrock Rovers, who have a game in hand on those ahead of them. Sligo and Limerick, making those just ahead of them, sweat a little bit more. The relegation battle, as you can see from that, is far from over. Now, both games, a red card in each, Alan. We're going to take a look at Bailey sending off. Johnny felt it was very harsh. What's your judgment on it?
I agree totally with Johnny. I was at the match, Peter, and there wasn't one person in the ground who expected this to be a red card. They lose possession here. It's one of them where it's a professional foul, as in he's taking a yellow card, taking one for the team because they're on the break. And everyone thinks it's going to be a yellow card. He issues the red, which I felt it was never red. I agree with Johnny. And it changed the whole game because Bailey and Thornton were actually dominating at that stage. OK, I know, Damien, you disagreed with that first red card. What about this one, Enda Curran?
I don't disagree with that. I'll tell you what, the left foot is OK, the left leg, but it's the right leg and the right hip coming in after the ball that is the dangerous part of this play here. It's a naive challenge. He doesn't think he's done anything wrong, but I can assure you the follow-through was very, very dangerous. And
what did you think of the first one?
The first one, I'm fed up with people saying, trivialising this one for the team, this yellow card for the team, and doing something like, I'll get a yellow card for them grand. It's about time referee stamped and cut that out of the game as well. All it needs is, I accept there was no malice in it, but all it needs is a missed time and somebody's Achilles goes and they're out for a long, long time. I think players have to be more aware of the damage that can be caused by careless tackling.
But you don't feel it was malicious, though?
No, there was no malice in it whatsoever. And I know Robert Bailey at times, his reputation can precede him, and maybe that's something involved in that. But he was playing really well, and it changed the whole course of the game. And I just feel, Peter, if you understand the game, people would know exactly what Robert's intentions were totally.
I think Damien understands the game, in fairness, at this stage.
The referee.
I was at the match.
And that makes all the difference.
The referee is not supposed to read Robert Bailey's mind. He just takes action what he sees.
OK, well, the red was given, and Bailey will suffer the consequences as a result. Now, 2 massive fixtures coming up now, and even those with just a passing interest in League of Ireland football would have been taking note of tonight's fixture at Tallaght Stadium. Damien Duff, having recovered from injury, was expected to feature for Shamrock Rovers at some stage this evening. So the fans were there in the hope of seeing the former international make his League of Ireland debut against Cork City.